Welcome to another
2-Minute Tech Tip Tuesday.
brought to you by the National RV Training Academy, the largest hands-on RV training academy in America. Hey, before we get to the video, which I know this is the reason why you're here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. That way you don't miss anything. Hit the subscribe button now. Thank you. Now, back to our Tech Tip Tuesday. Hey, this week I'm actually coming to you live, or actually on location here at the National RV Training Academy. As you can hear, there's still students sitting here in class. But let's go ahead and answer some of your questions. Got some questions here that you guys have sent in. We'll go ahead and answer those. Now, this one comes from Rodney Alligator, born in 68, maybe 64. I'm thinking he was born in 64, she's born in 68. Trying to give away how this stuff works, but that's how people put their names in there. It says, I purchased a used RV, and it appears that the previous owner replaced the anode rod with a drain. I guess it makes sense if you're going to drain the tank about 4 to 5 times a year instead of replacing an anode rod every year. What is your thoughts? Right? So then he goes through a list of questions. Should I reverse the work and put the anode rod back in the system? I also saw some anode rod drain combo parts. Are they a good choice? Well, here's the thing. You should never take out the anode rod. Now, the model he has is a Suburban, the Suburban model he given us, and the Suburban does have an anode rod. Here's the thing. The anode rod is a sacrificial rod. It's trying to keep the tank from developing too much mineral buildup. The mineral buildup actually eats away at the tank itself. So if you take away the anode rod, you take away the protection. It's not smart. Not only that, but you're building up that mineral rather than it disappearing with the anode rod, you switching it out, on occasion. So you're going to have quicker mineral buildup. It is never a smart thing to do to take out that anode rod and replace it with the drain. You're talking about an anode rod drain combo. Not aware of one out there, so I'd have to look that up, so I can't give much information on that. All right, so definitely reverse the work, put in an anode rod. Before you put in the anode rod, you may need to figure out that you need to break down all of that mineral buildup. So now what you're going to have to do is take some vinegar, fill the whole thing up with vinegar, and let it sit for about a day. Drain that, and you're going to see the white stuff come out. Then go ahead and clean that back out, rinse it out, and then put in your anode rod. So great question on that one. There was another question that came in where someone said, this is Chris McGee, 2042. Obviously not his birthday, so I'm not sure what that is. Question, I put two 320 amp hour batteries. I put in two 320 amp hour batteries. Could I use the bus bar to run them in parallel so that I can expand it to 640 amp hours? Or will that act like running them in series? No, it will not act like it's running them in series if you hook it up correctly. Now, parallel, you're trying to increase the capacity. The voltage is good. You don't need to raise the voltage up, so you put them in parallel. And parallel is positive to positive and negative to negative. So if you have two different bus bars, say a positive bus bar and a negative bus bar, you run the positive of both batteries to the positive bus bar, the negative of both batteries over to a negative bus bar, and then off to your loads. That's perfectly parallel. Typically, we would always say that bus bars are a parallel connection. All right, well, that was done in 2 minutes because I got class. So if you have questions and kind of want to get to know those answers for free, go ahead and ask your question. There's your tech tip. All right, before you get to the bloopers, which is why you're here in the first place, the RV industry needs thousands of RV technicians and inspectors, and now is the perfect time to do that. If you want to make more money or have more control over your time, go ahead and click the link below. Or if you just want to learn how to fix your own RV, got something for you there. Head over to rvtechcourse.com and get started today. Now for the reason that you're at the end of the video, roll the bloopers. Get your ears on. If I don't like it, I won't answer the question. Maybe someone else will. You notice that there are a few other people doing tech tips or whatnot. I know they're lesser because you're all here to see me. I thank you for that. Yeah. No, I ain't shark bait.